People of Earth, welcome to Histrionics, exciting adventures from before the now. My name is David Cooper, and this is the last ever Histrionics video. I can't make any more because my hands have turned into cheese pies. Ah, April Fool, of course they haven't. Look, my hands are totally fine. Now, I know that many of you might be playing April Fool's jokes on each other today, but why? Yes, they're fun, but what has April the 1st got to do with tomfoolery? Well, the short answer is nobody really knows, but I'm not interested in the short answer. I'd like the history. Let's do this.
The Celtic people of Northern Europe, in particular the Britons, often would celebrate festivals at springtime that welcomed in the warmer weather and new life. These festivals were light-hearted, happy in nature, and apparently involved playing jokes on people. Maybe April Fool's Day came from here. In fact, the people of Northern Europe, including the Britons in ancient times, had festivals overseen by the Druids. Hello, that's me. Nice to meet you. In celebration of the Celtic god Lud, who was the god of comedy and humour and banter. Bet you didn't know we had a god of the bants. Oh, yes. Although I sadly report that as the Druids didn't write anything down, all of that could be lies and nonsense. Sorry.
I tell you what's not nonsense and lies, and that is the ancient Roman festival of Hilaria. See, Hilaria was the first time in the year where the daylight hours outnumber the nighttime ones. It represents the coming of spring, and we would celebrate it by partying, drinking, eating and dressing up in different clothes, wearing masks and playing jokes on one another. So maybe that's where you lot get your April Fool's Day. Or could be from another famous Roman. Julius Caesar. He invented the calendar that you lot use. See, in 45 BC, when Caesar got hold of the calendar, it was a right mess. People have been using the stars and a moon to work out the calendar, which is lunacy. A year is one revolution of the earth around the sun, not the moon. So Caesar changed it, didn't he? He made the Julian calendar. He made 11 months of 30 or 31 days. February is its weird backup month with 28 or 29 days in a leap year. And he made the new year start on January the 1st. January being named after the Roman god Janus, who has two faces on one head. One face looking forwards into the new year and another face behind him looking into the past. Makes sense. Caesar got his calculations spot on and all, 365 days. Although he did make a tiny mistake, just a little one. His year was 11.5 minutes too long. I think he did quite well. 11.5 minutes is not a bad mistake. I don't see it being a problem down the line.
Of course it's a problem. It's all right for you ancient Romans, with your year being too long by only 11.5 minutes. But by the time you get to 1215 and the time of the Magna Carta and King John and the supposed outlaw Robin Hood, we have been adding 11.5 minutes to the end of our year every year for over 1,000 years, which means now the year is almost a week too long, and the seasons are coming out of alignment. Not that I'm bothered about that, as I'm here to tell you lot about where April Fools may come from in England. You see, King John is it's very unpopular. The people don't like them. He's taxed the country mercilessly, taken loads of their money to pay for his wars, which, on the whole, his wars in France, he generally loses. So people don't like him at all. And when the people of the Nottinghamshire village of Gotham heard that King John was coming to see them, no, thank you very much. They didn't want him to come into the village. But what can they do? They don't have a standing army. They don't have people like me, professional soldiers, trained in the use of arms and weapons. So instead, they decided to discourage King John by pretending to lose their minds and run mad. So that when King John and his forces arrived, they saw the villagers of Gotham running around, barking like dogs, jumping up and down like rabbits, talking gibberish, and attempting to drown a fish in a river. They were so terrified by what they saw that apparently they all left, the king not even getting off of his horse. And all of that is supposed to have happened on April the 1st. Although it could be totally made up, I'm not sure. What I am sure of, though, is that we're no longer celebrating New Year's Day on January the 1st. No. That's a pagan practice. The dominant religion now is Christianity. So we will be celebrating the New Year in line with the Christian festival. Some people suggested Christmas. Some people suggested Easter. However, what we decided to do was celebrate New Year's Day on March the 25th, the Feast of Ascension, or Ladies' Day, the day when Archangel Gabriel came down to earth to tell Mary that she was going to be giving birth to Jesus Christ, the Son of God. It is the time that Christianity started upon the earth, so it seems only right that it should be the start of the new year as well. Although, I have heard in France that as well as celebrating the new year on March the 25th, that some of them celebrate it still on January the 1st, and even more of them have a week-long party after Ascension Day and are now celebrating the start of the new year on April the 1st. Oh, I'm not sure whether having all of those New Year's days is a good idea. Still, hopefully it won't go on too long, and even if it does, it won't become too confusing. Until you get to 1564, when things in France are beginning to look a little rough. Now everybody is celebrating New Year's Day on completely different days, either January the 1st, April the 1st, or at Easter. And celebrating New Year's Day at Easter is causing total chaos, as Easter is on a different day each year. Its date is set by the Catholic Church according to the movement of the moon, which means that now years are completely different lengths, and nobody is quite sure how old they're supposed to be. So, in 1564, the King of France decides, that's it, I've had enough, you lot are celebrating New Year on January the 1st. But not everybody listens to him. And this is where we first start to hear the term April Fool being used to be applied to people who don't celebrate New Year on the 1st of January and are still sticking to the 1st of April. They are called, in French, Poisson d'Avril, which of course translates as April Fish. Now, try calling that at somebody when you're playing an April Fool's joke on them this year. April Fish! I think I prefer the term. Of course, even though that's been sorted out, we still haven't sorted out the problem that we're having with the Julian calendar, because now the year is 10 days out of alignment with the seasons. And in 1582, the head of the Catholic Church, Pope Gregory, decides he's had enough as well. He throws out the Julian calendar and decides to make a new one called the Gregorian calendar, named after himself. It's still virtually the same as the old one, with the exception that every 400 years, he orders everybody to forget the leap year and move on. Skipping it out this way every 4 centuries will now hopefully align the calendar with the seasons better. And everybody, he orders, has to now celebrate New Year on January the 1st. Everybody takes a look at the old Julian calendar. Everybody takes a look at the new Gregorian calendar and says, this calendar is amazing. This calendar is rubbish, and throws it away and stops using it. Well, everybody says that, of course, apart from Russia and Britain. Well, of course, Britain. We are Great Britain. What do we need the European calendar for anyway? We know what we're doing. Well, I'll tell you why we need it. Because in 1752, we discovered that the calendar now was 11 days out of synchronization with the seasons, and making an appointment to see anybody anywhere in Europe was entirely impossible because none of the dates matched. So we decided to eventually change to the Gregorian calendar, which we did in 1752, but we had to chop off a few days in September to make everything match up. So 1752, September the 2nd, was immediately followed by September the 14th, which was immediately followed by massive riots, as people actually believed we had physically taken 11 days away from their lives and made them all older. And telling them we will be celebrating New Year's Day on January the 1st did not cheer them up one bit. So maybe, in Britain at least, celebrating April Fool's Day on April the 1st is a gentle reminder that the British were a little bit foolish in being slow to adopt January 1st as the new year instead of April 1st. Not that you'd catch me doing anything foolish or looking ridiculous whatsoever. Oh, no. I am the soul of decorum. I am a gentleman of discretion. I am... What is that?
So there we are. There are lots of possible reasons why we might celebrate April Fool's Day on April the 1st. Whether it's calendar changes, too many New Years in France, the people of Gotham, or remembering an ancient spring festival, one thing that we do know is that if done nicely and respectfully, April Fool's Day can be a lot of fun. May I wish you all a very happy April Fool's or April Fish Day. Unless, of course, you're in Spain or in a Spanish-speaking country, in which case I reserve my well-wishing for your April Fools, Santos Inocentes, on December the 28th. Now, if you've liked this video, make sure to leave some comments just below here, my lovely face right down there. Leave some comments about what you thought. Make sure to click like, subscribe, and share where appropriate. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you've been interested by the stories here, maybe you could research them on your own by visiting your local library when they're open, or by going safely and securely on the internet. My name's been David Cooper from Histrionics. It still will be when this video is finished. Take care out there. Look after each other. Cheerio. We'll see you soon.